adversity? Bring it. The struggle? We welcome it. Snooze on life? Never that. We are Dave Regina and Mike Pirelli, and this is the No Snooze Podcast. Come on.
Before we dive into today's episode, we want to simply say thank you for your support. For season 2, we're running a couple giveaways and we'll be selecting a couple of you to win some No Snooze merch, some products over at Orgain.com, or a $50 Amazon gift card. If you enjoy the podcast and find value in what we're doing, all you have to do is subscribe to us, leave us a 5-star review on Apple, and DM us on Instagram at No Snooze Podcast, letting us know you've entered the giveaway. Thanks to all of you, the No Snooze Podcast is climbing the charts, and we're well on our way to spreading this message to the masses. Enjoy today's episode. Mike, open us up.
Welcome back to the No Snooze Podcast, the holiday episode. Keep doing the bells. Come on.
Listen. If they missed that intro, sorry for you guys. So if you're not on YouTube, get on YouTube.
Who are you supposed to be?
I don't know. I have the reindeers, right?
You don't even know what you're wearing?
RainDave.
RainDave?
Oh,
wow.
That's pretty good, right?
I'm Melf, Mike the Elf.
Yes. So a couple days before Crema.
Before we dive in, hate that movie. I know
What?
you're not a movie guy.
Never
Elf.
seen it.
I think it's the most
Oh,
overrated
no, I watched it
holiday
last
movie.
year for the first time.
So
it was
overrated.
hilarious when he got hit by the taxi.
All right, maybe it is pretty good.
So funny. But on a serious note, though, before we get started, happy holidays to everybody.
Yes.
Happy Hanukkah, happy Kwanzaa, and Merry Christmas coming up.
Yeah, L'chaim.
Right? Yeah, well, that's Merry Christmas. Yeah, so Claudio, our AV guy.
Feliz Navidad.
Yes, he said say it in Spanish.
Yeah. Feliz cumpleaños.
So before we get started, what episode is this, by the way? 44?
44.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow, congrats, kid.
Thank you. I would congratulate you, but,
Yeah.
I carried this show. So
Yes, how's your back?
It's
Big-
painful.
Good. Big back. Speaking of big backs,
Yes.
let's go pod, bod, dad bod updates.
Dave, this is the day after you put on a clinic of how to have a cheat day.
Yes. This is
meal.
This is going to be Mike's favorite episode so far.
Yes.
But before you slaughter me, okay, I do want to say that I think it's important to try to stay on track with the physical activity if you're in that routine, right? Because what Mike is going to tell you is how ridiculous I ate last night.
Yes.
We had a great night. Had the families over, friends. So it was a good time. Some beverages, and Mike will get into the food piece, but I don't even feel guilty about it because
I felt guilty on your behalf the way you ate.
but because I still know that I'm going to work out, right?
Yeah.
I might miss a day, but even if I just get a 30-minute, 45-hour workout in the next day, I'm okay.
That's a 3-hour workout needed after that show.
Easily. So I do want to say that I think it's important to stay focused, but there's a time and a place. So, Mike, I think it's time you let it rip with that Boston cream cake sitting in front of you. How dare you eat that?
That's pretty good. And let's not act like you guys.
I
Let's
ju-
not
okay,
pretend
fine,
you guys didn't eat it before
Fine,
the episode.
I just ate it before the episode aired. Okay.
I'm happy that you're admitting your fault of eating like an animal. I
But
know
why
it's
is
not
it
a
a
fault.
fault?
It's not a fault.
Yeah.
The only fault is that you ate everything in
Yes.
sight. And you talk about this Crohn's disease, which I'm sure
Yes.
it's real.
Yes.
But are you sure it's not just your eating habit is insane? Like
No, so with the Crohn's, right? Crohn's is it's actually a chronic inflammatory bowel disease. So
Yeah.
chronic meaning that it is forever.
Yep.
But in my case, because of my years through this journey, I'm in full remission.
Yep.
So the symptoms and the sides really don't hit me, and I'm still on my my dose of Remicade.
I hope not, because So let's
Yes.
just run through it.
Yep,
All right.
go ahead.
So explain, what did you order from Catania's? Great.
Yes, shout out Catania's Pizza, Mohegan Lake. We had chicken scarp pie,
Awesome.
right, and the spicy meatball pie from them.
Which was, they both had a little heat on it.
Yes, it was great. But before that, we did I'm a big charcuterie guy.
Okay.
You know, I like putting on not elaborate boards, but I like putting simple things that looked good. Some nice olives. Threw some shrimp on there last night. Crackers, the cheese.
You are the charcuterie king because every time you
that.
come over, you do a nice spread. Your presentation's on point.
It's a basic spread. It's clean. You know what I mean? It looks okay, but there's people that do a lot better than I do.
So what I would like to do with this section is I would like to try to get a stat line for what you ate last night.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So first, we're going to start with the charcuterie board.
Yes.
Okay.
Start with the charcuterie board.
And ballpark it, right? So if you had,
Let's say
10 salams, say, 10 salami.
at least 10 salams.
Okay, so let's ballpark it. All right,
Okay.
start us off.
So the shrimp, right? I know that I had about 8 shrimp,
Okay.
right? And on the charcuterie board, there was 4 different Italian sausages and salamis and that type of meat, right? And I probably ate, I want to say about 20 pieces total,
Okay.
right? Out of the 4, right? So
Maybe some were thick.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
20
definitely.
is probably like it's probably like 5 inches of salami.
Yep.
you
We had
consumed.
good mozzarella balls.
Yes.
That were there, and I stopped counting at 9 because I was like, yeah, my stomach's probably not gonna be too good after this. But they're just so good. They're in the olive oil. We got the the seasoning on it, the basil.
I was putting them on the chicken scarf pizza.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Okay. What else was on the board? The
olives,
cheese.
which we'll
Yes.
get to.
Olives. Yep. Crushed olives.
You touched the olives early, but as people will know, there was
Yep.
another sighting of olives.
Yes. Crackers and the brie cheese was great.
You're making little brie sandwiches,
Yes.
which you shared with me.
Brie sandwich. Yep. Put a little raspberry on it. Gave it to you.
3 for Dave, 1 for Mike. 3 for Dave, 1 for Mike.
Grapes were involved.
Okay, yep. Okay.
Yeah.
That
So-
covers most of that
yes,
portion, right?
That was that.
Dive into the slices. You're
Well,
like an average 6 slice to 8 slice. Well,
So up front, if I'm
Dave,
eating pizza, I go 3 off the top.
off the top, but
off the top.
you revisit.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
2
So-
sessions.
So I went 3 off the top. I did 2 slices of the chicken scarp pizza,
Yeah.
and I did 1 slice of the spicy meatball.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Then we did the bevy thing.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Played some darts. We got absolutely waxed.
Rushed.
Yeah. So shout out to brother Bill and Mo. I hate losing, by the way. I'm a sore loser.
Me too.
I'm working on it though.
Yeah.
All
You
right?
got to work on your sportsmanship.
I do. I know. I don't even like to shake hands. I'm that guy.
I was terrible. I'll admit it on
Yeah.
here.
You actually were awful.
I usually I was pretty
Yeah,
good.
you're usually the
I
better
fell
one.
out of contention there. We're not good partners when it comes to athletics.
No. We'll stick to business.
It's probably me. That's
stick to
probably I'm probably the issue because
Yeah.
I'm not good at games, party games like Pong,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Yep. So then we're hanging out, but now we want to go talk late night now.
Yeah, so session 2 is so we had a bunch of drinks, we played a bunch of games, and
Yep.
then that late night what's left hits. First off, I'd like to mention that there was 2 shrimp left on the board.
Yes.
And Dave disappears for like 5 minutes from darts, comes back down, and he goes, I had to make sure those shrimps were still there.
Yes.
And I go upstairs, and there's just the tails laying on the board.
Yes. So,
It was like a crime scene, or like Rudolph eating the cookies.
so I did catch the last 2 scrimpies. That's right.
Yeah.
And then the pizza. So this is where I had another 2 meatball slices. No, so I had 5 last night. 5 slices.
I want to say you probably had a little amnesia when it comes with the pies. Because
No.
Every time I looked over, you had a pizza in your hand.
It was the same. I eat slow. It was
Okay.
So I had the two meatball slices
Yep.
at the end.
Okay, so we're at 5 pizza slices.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I came back downstairs.
Yeah.
We're playing a little bit more, and then
So then, we're playing darts, and it's like we're in the middle of a game, and Dave's just nowhere to be found. And everyone's like, where's Dave? Everyone's down here, like, at his amazing bar he set up, enjoying. I call him, and his phone's vibrating down here. I'm like, he left his phone? Like, what a weirdo. Like, I was like, oh, you know what? His stomach is probably all out of whack. He's probably up in his master bathroom just, like, hugging the toilet. So I call him. He doesn't answer. Karina runs his phone upstairs and hands it to him, and I get a FaceTime. And I look at him on the screen, and he's talking to me. He has a shot glass of limoncello in his hand, and he turns the camera, and he's watching Sopranos by himself.
yes,
So I'm like, what are you doing? 1, bring the limoncello back downstairs because I want some. And 2, what are you doing watching Sopranos by yourself? Like, we're all down here. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll be right down. He hangs up. He runs down, and he's like, man, like, I was thinking about that episode. I thought Chris got whacked. Like, I had to go find out. You guys were all talking. Like, I just wanted to sneak up and watch the end of the episode.
Yes.
Which is very bizarre.
Yes.
I don't know. Has anyone in the comments, has anyone escaped from a party to finish a TV show?
It's very Dave Virginia-esque.
Very.
But so I restarted from season 1, episode 1 of Sopranos.
We might have to take these things off because every time we talk,
it's just
like
jingle bells. I don't think they can hear it though. So started season 1 back up, and like I'm hooked. I'm re-obsessed with it. I haven't watched it in years. Right? I like forgot the storyline. I even forgot that I remembered Tony was in therapy. Didn't realize the whole show is based around his like therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Shout out Dr. Melfi, right?
Yeah. I don't remember.
You don't remember?
Dana rewatched it with me. I think she never saw it before. And knowing the ending, no spoilers here, but knowing the ending, # no spoilers, no snooze, I was kind of excited to see how devastated she would be at the end. She depressed for a week.
Yeah, well, I mean, terrible ending on the show, but I'm just so interested in seeing it from this 31-year-old.
No, she was sad it ended.
Right?
Not
I
like
know.
That it was a terrible ending.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, the ending is, I don't know, debatable. Yeah. But
we're like 7 years late on this, which is hilarious.
Yeah. But I'm just loving it, right?
Yeah.
So the whole night, I'm watching, I think it was season 2, episode 9, and I stopped because everybody was coming over. Then we're playing the darts, and the thought popped in my head, damn, I know he just got, he had gotten shot, but did he really get whacked? And I couldn't remember. And I knew that he didn't get whacked, but I wanted to see that episode. So that's why I ran upstairs. And, yeah, I was sipping a little limoncello. It was nice.
So he brings down, we have the limoncello. Keep in mind, like, all of this food he's eating. In addition, we have limoncello. We're doing these, like, random shots, whiskey. I had a couple M&Ms.
Yeah.
Like, there's just random assortments.
You opened
going
those
on.
M&Ms? That was you.
So-
I bought 12 of them.
No.
I bought 12 of them.
He clearly put them as decoration, and I was like, you know what? You're similar to my father because he'll like put a chair somewhere, and I'll just move it a little bit to drive him crazy. So when I saw the decoration, I said, Karina, did Dave buy these? She goes, yeah. I was like, perfect. I opened one up because I knew you'd be like, these are decorations, not for eating. So that's on you.
If it's you, it's all right.
Here's my rule. Never put a decoration that's edible. And expect me not to go attack it.
Okay, all right.
If you put it on a candy canes on a tree, I'm taking them.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, fine.
So one of my favorite parts of the night. We get pumped in darts. The party goes upstairs, and we're all standing around. And I see Dave just like he's like an animal in the woods, like looking for something to eat. He's like a squirrel, like trying to find that area where he can, like a bird feeder's around. And I look over, and I'm like, is he eating olives out of the container? Right?
Yes.
You put a bunch of olives, and you put the rest in the fridge.
Right.
My man is popping olives like they're M&Ms.
Extreme
right?
sodium content. Not
Oh
good.
my God. He's like, these are phenomenal olives. You want some olives? And he's like feeding like other people olives, and he's eating them. So like, don't think much of that. Then we look over, and he's eating hard-boiled eggs, but biting like them in half, like very slowly.
So what people don't know is every day, I mean, CV knows, people at the job know, that I eat eggs every day.
I do. It's disgusting.
So I eat 4 hard-boiled eggs every day, but I usually take 2 of the yolks, and I throw them out, and then I eat the other 2 full eggs. So it's 2 full eggs and 2 egg yolks. It just happened to be there in the fridge when I opened it, and I'm like, oh, well, that egg looks pretty good.
Yeah. So he's eating it, but he's like, it's the end of the night. It's like 12:30, maybe close to 1. And he's like kind of got the glaze and also eating it. He's popping them. I'm like, are you eating hard-boiled eggs? He's like, yeah, protein. You want one? Like very casually. So then me and someone else is talking. And every like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, I look over and I just see Dave with something else in his hand. Next, it's pineapple. My man's eating pineapple, sliced up, just throwing it in. And I'm like, this is what? What's going on? Then he's walking around with double stuffed Oreos.
Oh, I got to finish the night with Oreos, baby.
On top of the double stuffed. Yeah, I forgot. When was the cake? I don't even know.
I think I slid that in there.
I
think when
I didn't
started,
see you eat the cake.
When I started serving cake to everybody, I got this nice little Boston cream cake. Tremendous.
Thank you. Did you cook it? Did you make it?
No.
I was waiting for the
lie.
No.
No.
Cool.
So yeah, I served that around. So I slapped one of those across
add
these lips here.
So he's walking around with double stuffed Oreos and offering them to people, which we got into the debate. I'm a single stuffed guy. I don't double stuffed. The ratio
I think I
is
told
perfect.
you to leave, right?
The ratio's out of whack when it's double. You got mad, but you're a double stuffed Oreo. That's my joke. but he's eating them. This is the psycho part. Instead of eating one at a time, like a double stuffed, eating one bite one is a lot, right? He's doing doubles. of double stuffed. So he's eating a quad of Oreos. Yeah,
All right,
it was.
TV, you see me?
It was one of the best. Not so much. Volume was there, but the mix of food that went into your mouth last night was so wild.
It's wild. Even just the fact in the same like thought of thinking of like the chicken scarp with the pineapples and the Oreos.
Yeah, if you put that all on a pizza,
just,
like someone would yak from that.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what's crazy though?
You felt great this morning.
Well, not. I had a little hangy. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm back now because as you guys know, I mean, this is now. Once I finish this one, that'll be up to 150 ounces of water, and that's really the only thing that I think brings people back from feeling a little sluggish after, especially alcohol. But we didn't even go crazy though with the alcohol.
My big question for you though is a day after like that, right? You take a break from the diet, you go absolutely bananas.
Yeah.
What's the next day look like? Do you keep the party rolling until the end of the weekend?
So that was nuts though. You really thought that was nuts?
The display of eating, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. No. So that wasn't. I don't do that, right? So when
you did it.
Yeah. But when I do it, I don't really care.
there.
I was actually just talking to my wife upstairs, and I'm like, babe, what do you want for lunch?
Yeah.
And she's like, I think I want the shrimp pan fried noodles from this
Specific.
from Wild Fusion. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go with that. But again, I know at the end of the day, like, yeah. So last night wasn't great. Today, I mean, I'm gonna eat what I want to eat. Even if I take today and tomorrow off from working out.
Yeah.
It still will never add up because I know that I'm getting back on track by Monday the latest. You know what I mean?
But that's my question. Do you try to ride it out? Like when you're taking a nice break, do you say like, I'm going to embrace this chaos?
No, like even this morning, like, I mean, I'm doing the fast, but it was just 12 o'clock. You didn't see me. But I was upstairs eating my eggs for the day.
You're hiding your egg. Maybe you do that every day. I just never noticed.
Yeah, I do. I eat eggs every day.
No, I'm saying at parties. Like you just sneak your eggs in. I just don't know.
Slamming hard boiled.
Yeah.
That's a pretty odd
Putting
thing,
a
right?
boil out of the pocket. The reason I ask, because like if I do something like that, which I had a good showing last night.
Yeah.
Not trying to steal any thunder here. Probably 6 slices of scarp.
Okay,
I went very focused last night. And then Dana wanted Wendy's on the way home. So,
Ooh.
but I have to
Slide
say,
that in there, right?
yeah, the real cat. We had Wendy's. But I couldn't eat it because I was so stuffed because I just can't eat like that anymore. It's just I don't have the capacity, which is nice. But when I do stuff like that, I will wait till like dinner the next day. And this was before I started the 1 meal a day because I just felt so sick the next day.
So bad. Yeah, see, I don't feel bad this morning. I mean, I woke up regular bathroom routine. Like none I wasn't hugging the toilet or anything.
I know a lot of people are going to love this because you're so like put together and like so
This is just
disciplined.
a disheveled day.
Oh, yeah.
That was just a disheveled day.
Disheveled
Dave.
Disheveled Reg.
Right.
But we it's the holidays.
Yep.
You have to. I'm a big fan of this. I love to punt.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I think when you get it out of your system, when you get back on the diet, you're not craving anything because you're like, I did it all.
I did it. Yeah, but I don't. I could tell you, but I don't. Genuinely, I don't feel guilty about anything.
I'm not saying you should feel guilty about the
Like,
show. That's what I'm saying.
I'm looking forward to the next big meal that I can do it again.
I can't wait to. Can I? I just want to witness it. Cause
Yeah. But speaking of big meals, though, it's actually pretty sad.
I should have
because-
recorded you the whole time.
Yeah, I didn't realize how
And, like,
locked
done,
in
like-
you were.
Oh, I was following it all night, but I should have been on the phone. But
That would have been
that's
hilarious.
part of the reset thing. I don't really use the phone personally when I'm out and about,
Yep.
just because I do too much for work. And
Got you.
But go ahead, sorry.
No, so speaking of the big meals, this will be the first time, sadly, that we're not going to my uncle's house for Christmas Day.
Yeah.
31 years.
Wow,
But
I think a lot of
they
people
did
are probably in
Do you
that
think
situation.
they did it before me, or they just started the
No,
Christmas
just
thing
for you.
because I was born?
Yeah.
I think so too. I'll go with that. So 31 years,
That's wild.
right? And but that was a display of food.
Gluttony.
Yeah. And I'm gonna really miss that. But I want to talk a little bit about favorite like Christmas foods,
It's good.
right?
Yep.
So what we used to start off with was colossal shrimp as soon as you walk in the door, right? Colossal
Get
shrimp. though.
smacked with a shrimp when you walk.
No,
in.
no, but just big colossal shrimp.
How big are we talking? Give me a size.
They're huge. They're
I need
like
a reference.
like this.
Holy hell!
Like 3.5, 4 inches.
Sure,
like,
wasn't lobster, and they just call them shrimp. Have some of these big shrimp.
and then the point of this was because now I'm thinking about last night with my little
Shrimps.
and the antipasto. But then the cold antipasto would come out.
So
with everything. I mean, you're talking cheeses, salamis, the pepperonis, the dry sausages, like everything.
I think that's my favorite part of it. Not to shoot,
Right?
shoot the gun here, but
yeah.
I get so like full from just crushing antipasto that it's
Yep.
like dinner's just a side note.
I know. Well, and this is the thing though. We really had to. We built this like system in play, but we were there. We would get there at like 1:00.
He's so organized. We get there at 1
No, I'm serious.
o'clock.
But this is the routine that would go into
I
it.
can't wait to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's a whole list. It's crazy. And then after that, the antipasto, we kind of go play games, ping pong. People sit on the couch. There's always basketball games that are going on. It's Christmas Day. Then we come back as a family. We sit for lasagna. Right?
Nice little zag.
Oh, and Aunt Linda's lasagna is incredible.
Shout out Aunt Linda.
Yes, top notch.
We have an Aunt Linda.
But then from there, are you getting excited by this? by the
Yeah,
way?
you're getting. This is my favorite episode by far. We're just talking.
Yeah,
food.
everybody's like, what is going on? Are
They went
having
off the rails.
a food. Listen, it's the holiday season, right? But then I don't know if you guys did this, but you know what it is. You know what fenouil is, and celery. Like you know celery.
I know. I think that you might be saying the wrong word.
Fenouil.
I think that's the wrong word.
No, it's fenouil. Right?
I don't think that's the right word.
It is fenouil.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
100%. But it's like a palate cleanser. You use it as right. Like you.
What is it?
It's kind of like celery.
Oh, but what's the first part and celery?
Well, she would have fenouil and
What is
celery.
that? What you're
Fenouil
saying?
is an Italian version of a celery.
Okay.
But what celery does is like kind of cleanse the palate a little bit. So the adults would always do the fenouil and then like a limoncello.
Okay.
As like a palate, a little palate reset thing.
Okay.
And then from there we would sit back down, right? We'd go our separate ways again. Kids go downstairs. Adults are, upstairs doing their thing, playing games, cousins running around. And this is what I'm missing this year. So this is all just
I'm missing it too, and I don't even
it's
attend
just
your
coming to me.
Christmas.
And then after that, we sit down for main course, which is filet mignon.
Ooh.
And I'm talking good filet they buy, like the most incredible filet. I think they get it from Stu Leonard's up in Norwalk. Actually.
Okay. I'm a big fan of stews.
they got
Love stews. Remember
great
the
meats.
the cows when
Yes,
they dance?
yes.
Yeah.
And the banana.
Don't you
dancing
feel
banana.
like you went there and you just like sat in front of there while
Yes.
like everyone did something else? And
Yeah.
you get ice cream.
And now you go and you're like, wait, this is
This is the place you're
Yeah.
at? Yeah.
Yes.
It's a grocery store.
Yeah. And with the filet, I mean, you got the vegetables, the loaded potatoes. You would love the loaded
See,
potatoes.
I think I like the sides more than anything.
you would
like,
love,
that gets me fired up.
Love the loaded potatoes.
I do love a good steak though. Yeah.
But it's the best. But now, I mean, you're talking a full day. So now this brings you to like 5, 6 o'clock at night, right? Then we sit back down. Usually that's the main game now, like the main NBA game that's on. We all kind of sit down as a family. We watch it. And then we do another palate reset. So now Aunt Linda brings out the fruit salad.
Okay.
Right? So we sit back down at the table.
Alternating, I like it.
Yep. Now we sit back down at the table. We do the whole fruit salad. Everybody sits together, and it's just a little bit, but it's an extravagant display of a fruit salad. Every type of melon, every type of berry. And, growing up, you're like, I can't eat this much. No, you eat it. It's a reset. It's a palate reset.
You don't want to be insulting, so you just keep.
Oh, yeah. But this is going on all night. This isn't even dessert.
Yeah.
Then we spread out again. Now it's like, say it's halftime, and we come back, and we watch the end of the game.
Yep.
Right? Then from there comes this tremendous display of Italian desserts, cheesecakes. That's Aunt Linda's
We
forte.
talking pastry?
Oh, yeah. All Italian pastries, Italian cookies, brownies, cheesecakes, the full, like, dessert tray. And I'm trying to think in my head, like,
What's your favorite dessert out of there?
Aunt Linda's cheesecake.
Yeah?
Yes, it's that good.
And Linda, hook it up.
It really is that good. But what's sad is, especially because my grandma, she's in the vulnerable population, I guess. So we're not gathering for literally the first time in my life in 31 years. So we're gonna do a very small thing here with just the immediate family.
And you're doing all the cooking?
No, I was just gonna say. So after that, we're deciding to we're gonna actually cater it from Carlo's restaurant in Yonkers. Oh, tremendous chicken scarp, right?
Yeah.
The best.
Remember how mad you were about the peppers?
Oh,
The
sausage. Yeah. They one day I ordered it. For Dana's birthday, right? We ordered it for Dana's birthday.
They took care of Dana's birthday.
She was,
my guy.
she was excited about it. No, but you took care of Karina one year. You made tacos, homemade fish tacos. Yeah,
that was bold.
That
Because
was
like
incredible.
I don't know how to make tacos, and I just made all this stuff, and I'm like, they probably weren't good.
No.
To, like an authentic taco eater.
No, it was incredible.
That's
But
so
anyway,
racist.
yeah, to Carlos, I was so mad at them because we live about 45 minutes away from them.
Yeah.
So I always order the chicken scarp with mixed hot and sweet peppers with sausage in it.
Yep.
They forgot the sausage.
I
Mike.
tasted sausage in there.
No,
though.
you didn't. No.
No?
No. It wasn't there.
I was
this
trying
time,
to cover for you, Carlo.
I will make sure that there's sausage in it. So from that humongous display, I mean, we're going like chicken scarp. We're going to do a pasta dish, but it's kind of sad.
Do you feel the pressure to perform, knowing what a
It's not going to be anything compared to Aunt Linda's, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's only you're talking less than 10 people in the house.
yeah.
See,
Our Christmas Day is always smaller like that because everyone does something a little different. But we've been bouncing around between the two families.
Yep.
So to be honest, don't even know what we're doing this year. I think the sides and the entree, like the intro, not the entrees, the appetizers are like where I think I'm a finger foods guy. Like if I can eat it with my hands, I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong.
I eat filet mignon with my hand.
I know you do. You look like you eat filet mignon with your hands. You see, that's a perfect description because you're like polished to get a fillet, but you'll still eat it with your hands.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You didn't
absolutely,
order
yeah.
like a New York strip or
Hey, Linda, let me get a piece of that.
yeah. But one thing that I want to bring back is my dad describes this dish called pitali. It's fried dough with anchovies inside of it. Which
I'm sorry. So fried fish, basically.
yeah, but
Okay, all right.
but it's in a ball like a dough ball.
I'm not gonna lie, it does not sound appetizing to me.
I love if you've had good anchovies, like fresh, and you throw them on a nice piece of toast.
I just get so weirded out. It literally reminds me of when like I used to win like carnival fish.
Those are the same fish.
That's what I'm saying, dude. You're literally ripping people's pets and you're just chewing them.
Ripping people's pets. That's a delicious intro.
I don't know.
But that sounds like a hell of a. I mean, if you have an open seat and my family doesn't, really want me to be around, I'm in. Mm-hmm. So if you have an extra seat, let me know.
I don't know. I just I know it's like a vent session for me, but
Yeah.
I'm genuinely like, I never realized how much we enjoyed going to Christmas until you don't go to Christmas.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's been a while since we've all been together. Obviously, with what's going on, we've been able to see mostly everybody, but there are a couple people in the family that take it more seriously than others.
Yep.
Just as I'm sure that's going on in everybody's family.
You take everything seriously. The whole description of it is very.
That. Yeah. No, I'm talking about COVID.
Oh, I thought you meant
talking
the
about
dinner.
COVID.
I thought you were
yeah,
saying
I take that.
taking dinner seriously.
I take that extremely seriously.
Yeah, clearly.
And now that I got to host a little bit, I'm like, wow.
But you guys are great hosts, so you're not going to miss a beat.
Yeah, no, I mean, it'll be fine, but it's not going to be what it was.
Yeah, the nice thing about having a smaller house is we've gotten out of a lot of hosting. We talked about it before. It's getting to the point where I feel like we have to either upgrade the house or somehow make our house bigger because we're going to need to start hosting.
We wanted to take a quick second to let you guys know that we partnered with our good friends over at Orgain.com. We're happy to offer our listeners 30% off by entering the code NOSNOOZE30. Again, that's NOSNOOZE30 for 30% off your first order. If you're on the market for a new protein powder, nutritional shake, protein bar, or Mike's favorite, collagen peptides, Orgain is your one-stop shop. As all of you know, my Crohn's disease is currently in remission, and the only protein I use is from Orgain. My personal favorites are the chocolate peanut butter and the vanilla bean. With the code, you can try a 2-pound tub for under $20. Talk about not snoozing. Go get yours today. Now, back to the epi.
Renovations, how is it all come along?
We're getting there. Nas contracting. Nick Souza doing a phenomenal job, keeping the ball rolling. It's amazing because you think we want to do this half bath and mudroom, but you really, I mean, as much as you can see it, once it's getting done, it's so much better than what you think. You enjoy it so much more. So we're getting there. Not done yet, or it may be done yet, depending on when this comes out. But pumped to see how it ends up.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Shout out to those guys.
Yes. Shout out to Souza, right?
And I would recommend if you're doing a big project and you're thinking about doing the GC, the general contracting yourself, which basically means you're coordinating everything.
Yep.
I would say if you can swing it, pay the extra to get a guy to organize everyone because the stress, I did it initially in my first renovation, the stress of coordinating all these, tradesmen, whatever you want to call them, specialists, a nightmare.
Yeah. But you still did a phenomenal job the first go around. I mean, you did a full-blown renovation when you first got your house.
It was a little bite off more you can shoot type of thing, and then you figure it out on the way. But again, Dave, to your credit, delegate.
Listen, that's the... I think even more so of delegation, it's the relationships.
Yeah.
And when you form those good relationships, delegating is not a problem.
That's true. That's a good point.
You know what I mean?
I never thought of that. Because you can delegate to some dude and you're like, well.
No, yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I always have guys. People laugh. They're like, oh, you got a guy for this, you got a guy for this, you got a guy. But it's true because I have good relationships with those guys, right? That
it's
Mike's
so weird.
whipping Boston cream around the microphone. Like, what?
You got me all excited for like desserts.
Yeah, I know. And I got the itis just thinking about this. But now switching over, relax, recharge, restore.
Ooh,
is where I'm at right now.
Nice,
right?
You look like you've been more relaxed than anyone.
No, seriously. So I actually took dating back to Thanksgiving. I took every Friday off for the rest of the year from Thanksgiving.
Nice.
From work, right? And had a serious conversation with my boss, and said, "Look, I do have a work phone, so I am obligated if there's emergencies, but I want to take time to really enjoy this holiday season with my family and especially my daughter for her first go around. She's not going to remember it. I just know
but you will.
That's exactly, and it's something that I want to do. So every Friday I've been taking off, which has been great. But as of December 18th, right, I'm not working for the rest of the year.
I'm not working.
No, I'm serious. I took the time off, and I
So that's what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. It's 2.5 weeks, I guess.
Let's call it 3.
Right.
3.
But had a serious sit down, saying, look, I'm there if you need something as an emergency. But I feel like with everything that's going on, even though the people who are working from home, there's like an added level of stress that's in the world right now. Yeah, it's been a great year, but a tough one, really tough one.
Yeah.
Phenomenal for us, especially with the birth of the baby girls.
Yeah, it's been weird because it's been awesome in a sense.
It's been awesomely terrible or terribly awesome.
No, I don't think. I mean, I think it's been one of the most transformative years for my life.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure yours.
Yes.
But that happening during a pandemic is a little weird.
Right.
It's like counterintuitive.
Yeah. But I really want to stress the importance of decompressing and really learning how, because this is something that I mean, when it was just my wife, and you talk about this. Yeah. It was just my wife. You're like, yeah, like Karina, she's going to be there. You know.
I didn't say that. No, I'm just kidding. She could be there.
You're not thinking like, wow, she's got to spend, the night eating dinner by herself or something.
Yeah.
And that happened for many years, right? Because, you're so focused on working. You're working 12, 13, 14, 16-hour days. And I did that for, you're talking almost 10 full years of that schedule.
It's a long time.
And now that I have this schedule that's literally like, I make fun of myself. I swear to God, because I'm like, wait, is this what the entire world was, always says that they're stressed about, is working from 9 to 5. I get in the office. If I work out, I get there at 7, maybe 6:30. I'll stay till 5:30, right? Some nights 6 o'clock. But it's great. I mean, I'm so relieved that I'm not working the second job.
Yeah.
But to everybody out there that's doing it, keep doing it because you're doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
And then when you get to the level to where you're like, you know what? Yeah, I don't need all the money in the world, and I'm kind of happy where I'm at. Always want to do more, obviously, but especially during the holiday season, I'm like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
So if you can do it and your job allows it, take some time to yourself, and enjoy your family, enjoy the holidays.
Well, I was going to ask you, for those weeks that you're off, what do you usually do? What's the ritual? What's different? Are you still working out? What are you doing?
Yeah. Well, so the wake up is not calculated, right? My body will wake up.
People are gonna miss you.
Just always
They're gonna miss you in the morning.
No, I mean I'll still post because I'm gonna work out, right?
Yeah.
But I'm not waking up strategically at 4:45 in the morning every morning, right? Like I'm gonna let my body just wake up. Callie, that's another thing. She's gonna wake me up at 4:45. I feel like her body is just now in that same routine. So it's funny because on nights like last night, where you go to bed at 1:15, baby girl's ha in at 4:45.
Rough. That's a quick turnaround.
Tough. It's the truth though, you know. So that's the big change. But one thing I always do, regardless of if I'm being a slug or not, and that's the terminology.
Slug.
That's the terminology that Karina and I utilize.
Yeah.
Babe, we being a slug today, and it's like, all right, there's a day that we're gonna just really
use the
do
term
nothing.
sloth.
Sloth.
Yeah.
Good. But even if I am a slug or a sloth, I'll still work out.
Yeah.
And
are
not
you working
every
out
day.
like a slug, or are you working out like you?
No. I'm gonna work out like I usually do.
Gotcha.
But it's a different level of enjoyment with working out because usually the working out is it's followed by going to work.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's like, okay, I don't have to work out at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
I could wait till 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But for me to get my mind right, even if I'm off, that's something that I still always try to do.
Yeah. So you don't go too far off the
Yeah,
rails
no. So I don't go too far off of the workout schedule.
Okay. Do you
but
go
it's
for
just-
like walks and stuff?
No.
Do you like incorporate any of
I'm
that?
not a
You're
walker.
just really
Not a walker.
We know.
No.
Yeah, because it's when you turn it off.
Yep.
It's hard to. The word's not productive, but do things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you're like so shut off, you don't plan to do anything.
Yep.
So then sometimes you're like just sit. I have a hard time sitting around. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
I can't
100%.
sit for extended periods of time. So like even I took off from the Thanksgiving until the end.
Yep.
And I don't know what my schedule is going to be for the end of the year here. It slowed down a bit, but still pretty busy. I'm going to take time, but even those 5 days, I was so anxious
To get
like,
back
to
to
get
it.
back. And
See, and I think that's part of the problem that we need to work on
Yeah.
because that happens to me too. But when I sat down and had that serious conversation, I told my boss, you know, I believe this to be true. When you're a worker like that and you actually decompress, when you go back to the office, you're going to be so much more productive. But also the ideas that just will flow in my head, like today we're off, right? Like ideas, I just happen to think about work and in a positive way. It's not a stressful way. It's like, okay, well, what's something that we can implement come the new year?
Yeah.
It's new initiatives, new programs, but it's new energy though.
Yeah.
And when you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, going to work, and you're slaving over and over and over, you don't have time for that new energy to develop.
Yep.
So that's just something that I'm enjoying it. I'm focused on it. And I hope everybody can take a couple days. Doesn't have to be 2 weeks. You know, take 2 days for yourself and your family, and that's the focus.
Yeah, even like I've found that shorter stints for me have been helpful.
Yeah.
Like a day, a full day. And although it makes your next day a little wild, it's worth it because it's like it's going to be wild regardless. So what's a day that you take? The big trips, like we've incorporated big trips into our life. Obviously not now during everything, but we took 10 days. And my big thing is putting it on the schedule. And then planning around it, right? Because something's always going to get in the way. And if you don't have it booked and paid already, you're going to back out. Because you're going to be like...
That brings me back to the episode that we did, that was a while ago now, but even how like date night, right? Like,
exactly. Same thing.
Even if it's takeout.
Yeah.
Now with what's going on and people aren't able to go into restaurants or whatever, you schedule that, right? Make the time to do it. And I love this. The thought process there, like you have to be motivated to do something like that, right? Like, and that motivation doesn't always last.
Yeah.
Right. And this is something so good. And it's actually the tagline on the profile now.
Oh.
Yeah. Motivation is like a shower. You need it daily.
Okay.
Right.
Some
So
of us,
but it's something you have to, like people always say, well, how do you get motivated? How do you get motivated? How do you get you have to physically do it, right?
Yeah.
That fake motivation thing doesn't just always exist. And even something like that, I bring motivation into it because you have to physically do that. You have to physically say, you know what, these 10 days, 14 days, 2 days, 5 hours, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a conscious decision, just like you making a conscious decision, yo, I'm a little dirty, I got to take a shower.
Yep.
You do it anyway, right? There's only a certain point that you'll allow yourself to be so grimy in life.
That's true.
Right?
That's a good point. And I feel like the breaks and the resets help you stay motivated because you, like, we went to Italy, right? Amazing time. You know, we didn't penny pinch. We really enjoyed ourselves. And in my head, I'm thinking, I want to do this again a bunch of times. So I got to go back and be productive again, you know? And then I also, something that I've come to I've admitted to myself is I do enjoy getting some stuff done in the morning just to get like, all right, I sent a couple emails. I did a couple things that were productive. Now I can really relax. You can turn off your phone now. So that was, you know, there's a couple things that you can't avoid, especially in the real estate business where you got to keep things kind of moving.
Yeah.
But it's little tricks that I'm like starting to be like, all right, well, if I get this knocked out before the baby gets up and Dana, it's fine. You know, there's no harm in that. And then I could really enjoy and like unwind and not be anxious about that email I got to get out. Until the end.
Now, I give you a lot of credit because your career in general, I think, is a lot more pressing than mine would be because you're based off of, you know, you got to make decisions based off of like other people's needs, right? So like you can't just
scheduling's tough.
Yeah, you can't really just shut off of people. Whereas I'm a little bit more flexible.
It's similar though because people are depending on you for things, so it's very similar. But I'm guilty of someone asked me for something in advance that I've done with you guys, and I'm like, I can't commit to that because I don't know what versus just put it in the schedule and then try to work around it.
Yeah.
You know,
one thing though that my job has done extremely well, and this could be a helpful hint for anybody that wants to do this. Again, I have a work phone separate from my actual cell phone. But I always tell them, look, even if my phone is on silent, right, update me on the important things. Like we have a running group chat, especially with the the other commissioners that are in the office. The three of us always have that chat rolling. That every day or so, if I check it just to make sure. So it's something that you can do to where you never feel like, okay, like too far behind, or I don't know what's going on. Because at the end of the day, we still have tons and tons of meals going out to senior citizens every day.
Yeah, you have a lot going on still.
Yeah, no, the operation still has to roll.
Yeah.
But it also, and this is no credit to just myself, this is the whole organization, you have to put things in play that set the culture that you can step away, right? And things are still going to roll. And I always tell my team this too. I'm like, look, as harsh of a world as we live in, the job is just as harsh, right? Like the reality is God forbid Dave Regina goes tomorrow, you're going to fill that spot. So you have to create, right? No,
trying to think who looks similar to you that we can fill
but
in.
It's the truth, though. And it makes you really think, like, okay, well, if that is the case, then I do need to make sure that I'm taking time for myself.
Yep.
Not taking away from the culture. The culture has to be built.
Yeah.
You know, the community that you work in has to be built. And that comes in with, good leadership.
Yeah, and systems. Like, one of the things that what I try to look at each year is, like, what is stressing me out the most? What about my role can I do next year? And just make it like a standard practice that gets rid of a lot of this stress if I have to come, to Yorktown for the day to do some family stuff, whatever it is. So the big thing that I came to the realization was, like, I need a manual key box on all my listings because if I have a plumber, someone that's coming to fix something, if we have an emergency, I can give out a code versus they don't have the software to get into the electric ones, right? It's come in handy so many times. I've done it at my own house for the renovation. It's like a little thing like that makes you so much more relaxed because, like, I don't have to rush home if there's an emergency because I have that key put there. So it's that little bit of preparation that changes everything. Like, even having all the listing info like online, now if someone wants everything, I don't have to run to the office, get it coordinated. I just have it in a draft and I just forward it. So, like, these little things I keep trying to add make your life easier, and then it frees up time for the family and all that other stuff. Because there's a lot of as much as we're efficient and stuff, there's so much wasted time in a day where you're like, if I just did this and I was smart about it.
Something that I do that's similar to that same thing, you ask, like, okay, well, how does the routine change or stay the same? Something that I do is I still make sure that we meal prep. Right? So we'll meal prep.
That's a big thing I got.
Yeah, we'll meal prep just the lunches. So we know that, well, if we go crazy for dinner, right? Yeah. I at least ate a really solid lunch.
If you only once a day, you can meal prep less.
I can't eat once a day, Michael. I can't eat.
I want to mention, if anyone's watched this on YouTube, I've been moving constantly because I got less meat on my rear. So I'm very uncomfortable on the stool because of the diet.
I feel it in the cheeks.
I don't want to lose it there, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's the moneymaker, especially in a nice suit. People see you coming.
No, man, this is great. I love doing these lighthearted episodes, especially towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
But to everybody, keep working hard.
Yep.
That's not ever you never stop that, but you can take a break from it.
Yes.
Right.
I think you need to.
Yes, and when you allow your work to basically become something that is a part of you, you develop something in you, and this is something I'm still working on, but I'm getting better. You develop something in you that you're like, you know what, I deserve this, right? Like,
Yeah, you don't feel guilty
yeah,
about
like I work so damn hard. My family, my wife works so damn hard that the least we could do is take some time together. Because life is short, and you never know when it's all over, right? You see what the world has been crazy.
Yeah. You got to build in those rewards too to your schedule. Figure out what you enjoy, and then when you hit something that you've accomplished, whatever it is, you reward yourself with that. Whatever, if it's something material, if it's going golfing, if it's buying something new, you got to keep playing games to kind of keep yourself engaged.
Yeah, man. I love doing this. I really do.
Happy holidays. Where's my gift? We had a gifting episode. You didn't bring me anything.
That's right.
Right?
Listen,
I was expecting clubs, an air fryer.
everything, right? So this will bring us to my favorite section, Dave's Dime of the Week.
Dimes.
Oh, I like that. Spanish. Yeah, see that, CV? That's good
Feliz
stuff.
Navidad.
No, this has been a joyous ride so far. And, from really the bottom of our hearts, there's no real dime this week. It's to enjoy yourself, enjoy your families, enjoy those you love. Happy holidays, and we thank you guys so much for your incredible support. And we'll be back next week with another fire one.
Yep. And Mike's mantra, which is quick, I'll add to the back of that.
Yep.
Stay safe, enjoy your family, enjoy your team. We almost forgot to mention.
Wow.
The newest Jet fan to the crew.
You're right.
Would you like to do the intro for our gentleman?
Yeah. So Justin is joining us on behalf. We're going to take CV's word for this. A bunch of people did reach out, and we appreciate everybody. But we are going to go with Justin. He's actually in the field. He's an actor, high school student. He's young. He's motivated. He's very innovative too, right?
What an intro! He doesn't say any of this stuff about me.
Nah, look, man, you're still working, but this is good because this is what we usually do. We build them up and then slowly we
break them down. And I'm excited because I was interning informally for CV,
right.
and I wasn't doing a great job. I don't have any AV background.
Yeah.
So thank you for saving me.
Yeah.
But
your favorite part is he's
a Jet fan. Come on,
terrible.
Which he has poor taste in judgment. That's why he chose the No Snooze podcast. Yeah. So we love it.
Yes. So Justin, I'm sure we'll get you in front of the camera soon. So we're excited for this journey.
Welcome to the squad. And then to come back to the send off, make sure when you eat this holiday season, tag your food at No Snooze Podcast and hashtag it I'm going Dave.
Oh, wow, I'm going Dave.
There you go.
You enjoyed this one.
That was good.
I could tell you enjoyed this
You're
one.
an animal.
You just slaughtered me.
Yeah.
Whose cake is that left over, though?
This is me. See, I left a little bit to show. Let me show the camera. I left a little bit to show that, I have control.
I have control.
Look at that control.
Yeah.
Usually I never leave anything. That's also a rule. But happy holidays.
Yes.
This was a blast.
We love you guys. And as always, until next time, stop snoozing.
Get up and get after it.
My man.
Well, kind of for the holidays, you can sleep.
Jingle bells.
That's another Effie in the books. Go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Snooze Podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, No Snooze.